Guess who's back? Stevie DVD, NVR 4K HD, UHD and 360. I'm going to drop some top tips for new drone pilots out there. I fly a DJI Mini 2. It is an absolute epic drone. I've been flying for nearly 2 years. I've done over 100 hours of flight time. And yeah, safe flights really. All good so far. I'll drop the tips to my safe flying, and hopefully you can use these tips to do some safe flying yourself and hold on to your drone for about 2 years and get over 100 hours flight time. This is what I do every time I go and fly. I check this app just to check the weather. Okay, I'm presuming you've gone to the CAA website, registered your drone, got a flyer ID and attached it to your drone, done all the legal requirements and ready to fly. Now this is your first port of call. These apps, these weather apps and no fly zone apps, you need to check these every time you fly, just to know that you're flying in safe weather conditions and a safe environment. Okay, this is UAV forecast. There's also one called Drone Assist, which is quite good. I use this one though. You type in the address that you would be going. Say I'm going to fly tomorrow, which I am going somewhere tomorrow, and I'm just checking the flight there now. You can check other locations and it'll give you the forecast for the 24 hours. This is a free version, so you only get 24 hours. If you want more, you'd have to pay a subscription fee to get more hours ahead to see what the weather is the next day and further. So I'll just go with a basic free one, which I'm using at the moment. Okay, you've got all these options here: cloud cover, visibility, sat locks and all that. You can set all these parameters so that they go red when it's not safe to fly. I'll show you that now. If you go in settings, you can go threshold settings. You can set the maximum wind settings I have to 30 miles an hour, and that includes gusts. Wind altitude, right, so 400 feet is the legal limit, which is 120 meters. So I set what the wind's going to be like at the highest point of my flight, which could possibly be 400. Use compass, yeah, use magnetic north, minimum temperatures, it gives you all that, maximum temperature, adjust the wind chill, max precipitation for rain, you got cover, I haven't bothered with some of that, and then you've got the sats as well down here somewhere, I believe. And you can put how many sats, I believe 9 to 13 sats the DJI Mini 2 needs. So that's how you set all your thresholds to basically whatever your drone can handle. You put maximum wind, whatever maximum wind your drone can handle, and that's that really. Also, let's go back to that. So now it just says you can adjust that max wind in there. If you click on the square, you can adjust that max wind from there. So there you go. Right, okay, also you can go to the map, and that will tell you where the no-fly zones are, airports, military bases. So yeah, there you go. So you've got London's a bit of a no-fly zone in there. So yeah, always check that out to where you're going to see whether you're actually allowed to fly. I think I've covered most of everything. You can do the forecast, click the forecast button and you get all that. So yeah, not bad. That's a brilliant app. I advise you either get the UAV forecast or the Drone Assist app, and always check this before you even consider flying. Always check ahead and make your flight plan to be safe. Right, now you want to go to the Google Play Store if you have an Android phone, or the Apple Store if you have an iPhone or iPad, and download the DJI Fly app, and it will look like this when you open it up. You might have to go through and sign in. There's my profile all signed in. There you go, 109 hours of flight time. So download that app and I'll let you know what you got to do next. Okay, it's always good practice the night before if you can, or even on the day before you fly in the evening. Just check your equipment's all charged up, check your batteries, check there's nothing, no prop damage or anything like that, and make sure you've taken that gimbal cover off. That's a classic. Okay, for your first flight, pick a nice location, not your back garden preferably, because it might be a little bit dangerous and close to people, neighbours, etc., houses and cars. Try and find a park, open space. Then you want to wait for your satellites.
The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
And do not take off until you hear home point has been updated. That's your first port of call. Top right, 11 sats connected, and your home point has been set. Then you're good to fly. Okay, what you want to do now is just where you're flying, you just want to look about and set your home point. So when you basically press the home button, it will come back, and it will come back at this height. Auto return to home, altitude 45 meters. That's sufficient to get over trees and whatnot around my area, but depending where you are and what the highest point is, you might have power lines. Don't go near them if you can, but if you can get over them, fine. But you've got to be so aware of those little things, they will catch you out. So set your return to home altitude, and you can also set what you want it to do when you press the home button. Let me just find that for you. I can't remember where that is. Safety, it might be here. Advanced safety settings. There you go. Go in advanced safety settings, and if your signal gets lost or anything happens, it will return to home is selected. Not hover and not descend. You want it to return to home. So as long as you've had your home point set, it should come back to you. So that's your first thing to do, is set your home point. So basically there's a button on your controller which has got the pause button on it, and if you hold it, it will go beep beep beep, and it'll return to home. Also, that is a good button for pausing flights. If you're basically doing an orbit, or you've got a flight in motion, or you're doing something you want to stop the drone dead, just quickly tap that pause button and it will pause. Also, with the return to home, that doesn't kick in until you're past 19 meters of distance. I've literally done this before. When I first started flying, I didn't take it too far. Then I wanted to check it would come home if I wanted to, and it didn't. And I was thinking, what's going on? But that was because I hadn't gone past the 19 meters range for the return to home to kick in. And if it's basically like eye level and you take it away 90 meters and tell it to come home, it will rise up to my 45 meters set, go above me, then start landing. So bear that in mind. So yeah, I think that's about all that covered. Return to home, pause button, and also on takeoff, I will let you know this, because I discovered this only about 6-7 months into flying, that whenever you take off from the start, from switching on, no matter what mode your controller is in, whether it's in sport mode or cine mode, it will always take off in normal mode. So you could be taking off in sports mode and think you're in sports mode flying around, but you're not really. You're in normal mode. So you've got to put it in normal mode, then flick it to sports mode when you're in the air to get your sports mode activated. A little tip for you, and that compass on the left, that's quite an important piece of kit. Always keep your eye on that. I'll give you the next tip in a second. Okay, the next tip is set your limits. I mean height limit. Let me see if I can find that for you. Safety. Be the altitude limit. Right, okay, there you go. Maximum altitude. 120 meters is our legal limit, or 400 feet. I'll try and put that on 118, but I can't manage to do it. And maximum distance, if you don't want it flying away from you too far, you're not brave enough to go over, say, a certain distance, then, but I always leave that on no limit. You can also calibrate your compass, which you might have to do. That's quite simple. You just hold it up, spin it round and round and round, then you point the nose up and then spin it round and round again, and job done. That's about all you need to know for now. You should be able to just get up in the air now and fly.